outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Vikings, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
2nd and a couple. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Normally you want teams to gel late in the season, but this unit, they've been terrific right from the word go. Came in as the number 1 rated unit against the pass in the NFL after just 1 week.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a first down. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that would draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Tell me I didn't just see these first 2 possessions. I mean, is this one of those cases of anything you can do, I can do
better?
Maybe not better, huh? Worse? Yeah, just a little bit. Very sloppy start. I think maybe a case of the nerves for both teams.
And now we're back to an even playing field. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Out of the gun, Purdy. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, a pick six on the first play of the drive. And, Charles, we have our first points of the game, making it 6-0.
And while it's only 6 points in the first quarter, it certainly takes a lot of pressure off of them, doesn't it? They're in the lead. They have control. Now they just want to settle in and play their game and defend that advantage.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor.
Oh, right on the heels of the pick six. Another ball intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick six, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Play action. Now Purdy. That's caught downfield by Kittle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Down to the 42, 2nd down. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
And Samuel gets him a first down, which matches his new jersey number and continues to be a Swiss Army knife for a loaded Niners offense. He had over 1,100 yards from scrimmage and 12 touchdowns a season ago, and he appears destined to have another big year.
Purdy. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
You look at this Niner defense. They're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Jair Brown who's got it. And the 49ers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. So the penalty on the offense, no need to accept that. They'll decline it, and the interception will stand. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Purdy looking to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Purdy now to throw. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Back to throw, Purdy. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the 33, here's 2nd and 3. Now Purdy. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions, and just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Throwing here, Purdy. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Vikings are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That play ended for a net loss thanks to Javon Hargrave.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Here's Darnold. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. An inside give to Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Darnold. Being chased out left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it will still leave him with a 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Here now a 3rd down and 8. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Here's Purdy. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now it's Darnold. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. Open man is Jalen Naylor. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. To throw is Darnold. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Darnold. There's Hockenson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Bulldozes past him. Boom! Still fighting through tackles. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Again, it's Jones. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. On third down, here's Jones. Now inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings! Aaron Jones, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to widen their advantage.
We see this a lot on third and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And it is 28-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Throwing to start the drive. Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Purdy from the gun. Open man is Samuel, complete. And Debo going to have a Niners first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. Oh, and that is incomplete.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he loses the football a second time. And the Vikings pick up the football. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So, Charles, they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. Now, last week, they had the close victory. This one more commanding, much more comfortable.
Well, the sense we got from them was that last week they felt like they didn't play their best. They got the win, but they weren't really on top of their game. But they put it all together here in this one, haven't they? What an impressive performance.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Darnold now to throw. And this is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aaron Jones with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it is 42-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he loses the football a second time. And it looks like the defense has got it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Back to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
We're going back to the same well. It's Hawkinson again. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Oh, and now some trickery. They fake the spike. He'll get just a yard on the scramble and 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They work now on 2nd and 9. A give running left. It's McCaffrey. Still going inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, 52 yards. And the Niners are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Purdy and the Niner offense, they'll stay on the field. They'll try to go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. Oh, they're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 2. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now back to throw. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A handoff left, McCaffrey. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
And Purdy, he's going to shift him around into something else. Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 71 yards now for McCaffrey. It's a first down.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the second.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Out of the gun, Purdy. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Purdy will throw for it.
And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about.
Wishnowski to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
Here's Darnold.
And Darnold going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Fred Warner.
And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Purdy now to throw.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Purdy now to throw off the play action. And he's got it. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Purdy and the Niner offense, they'll stay on the field. They'll try to go for 2 here.
The 49ers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further.
49ers 22. Wishnowski to kick off for San
Here is
Francisco.
Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing, buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Now it's Darnold. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. Took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Now Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Darnold. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
Third and 20.
To throw is Darnold. This will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult.